This is just for the replay, right? Where I'm waiting for people to come on. For you guys in the replay, this is the first day of a dream challenge. And I'm feeling a little bad because I kind of threw this at you guys at the last minute. But there's no rush to get started exactly at the beginning if you're just picking this up after a few days after we've started or whatever. And also I may have reached out to you to join the group, so you might even be joining the group, you know, a few days after we've started, but it's perfectly okay. I'm hoping that after this dream challenge, it's going to really solidify a new practice in your life so that it's something that you can carry with you after this challenge. So, hi you guys. Come say hello so I can see who's here. I am so excited about this whole thing. I want to be able to see who's here. I can't see. I know somebody's here, but I can't see you guys. So hold on, I'm going to go on here. Sandra, hi. All right. I literally just got out of the bathtub because I am going to do, hi Hannah, I'm going to start doing this practice with you guys at night. And so I don't know, I'm so excited because I had an amazing first try. I don't know, I'm super excited about this. So let me back up a little bit as you guys are coming on. We're just starting a last minute dream challenge. I knew I wanted to come and start doing the lives again on today. I needed a couple of days off. But it just hit me, I think because there's been a lot of conversation about dreams. And for me, it's been something that I haven't been really paying attention to unless it is in my face because I've been so busy. So now I'm like, okay, it's time to like really dig in because I've had some amazing like dream practices, and it's been a while because I've been doing other things. So I want to be able to see you. I hate it when I can't see what's going on. Hannah, thank you. Hello, I'm nervous about this one. You know what, Hannah? It's for me, and I'm sure it's like this. Hi, Renee. I'm sure it's like this for some of you guys. For me, it's a super, super powerful practice. And I haven't concentrated on my dreams for years. Like I'll have dreams and I'll notice them, but to really concentrate on, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. It's been a really long time. And I know that I have the ability to do a lot in my dreams, and having the ability to do a lot in my dreams and be where I am now compared to before when I did this, it scares the shit out of me, to tell you the truth, Hannah. So I understand. I do understand. So this is a last minute, like putting this together. So it's going to unfold as we practice. And I wanted to have this one piece together before I saw you guys, but I have literally been active, like thinking about how this is going to go since like around 7 when my alarm went off. So what we're going to do, I'm going to talk to you guys today. We'll talk out what the homework is to start, and I'm going to share my dream that I had this morning with you for like an example. And then I'm setting up, Hannah, I have trouble remembering dreams. Seems like I don't dream anymore, so I'm interested in seeing where this is for me. Yeah. Last week, one of my coaching clients was asking about dreams, and she said, I don't dream. I never dream. And so we started the practice that we're going to do today. And it's just a basic one that everybody, pretty much anybody who's done anything with dreams knows about writing them down and stuff. Hi, Stephanie. And about 3 days in, she started to dream. So I have no doubt for 99% of the people, because I can't guarantee anything, that this will, with consistent practice, you'll get results. And Hannah, I know you had I think it was you had mentioned something about maybe some of the medication you were on, maybe blocking, like that's one of the side effects. I just, Stephanie, did you have trouble finding me? Hi, Hazel. I just, I can't believe, or I don't want to take on the belief that a certain something is going to create a reaction that you can't change the vibration. And I'm going to talk about that today, because this was part of like the mind trip I did today about what we're doing here. So I have a lot. This isn't going to be a quick video. Not every video is going to be this long, but I have a lot to say and a lot to like get prepared for what we're doing, because I think it's going to blow our minds, or that's my intention. So those of you who know me, I usually like follow through with what what I'm doing. So if we're all in this together, I would say your amount of commitment to this practice will reflect your results. So I'm not doing like a sign up or anything around this, but I'll be here every day, Monday through Friday, with, I'll be here Monday through Friday at 9:15, and we're going to, like, I was even thinking about, as we're talking, maybe bringing on some people, if you've had a really amazing result or dream, bringing you on to the video so you can talk about it. I want to make this really like interactive and really interesting. And the other part that I'm going to put together today, and I just haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it, is I want to have a place that we can go and write our dreams, interact with each other, so that we can comment on each other's dreams or help each other out and really form a community. And whether that's here in the, like maybe within each day's post sharing the dream, or some separate, like in my the MCR program, we have like a Padlet. So it's almost like sticky notes that you can put up. It's a free app, and it's a way to put your stuff up there, but you can't interact with it. So I want something a little bit more advanced like that. And that's kind of a thing, like when I'm doing, those of you in the program know, like I want things to be cool. That's how I've always been. Like I just want it to be cool and fun. So I'm going to figure something out for you guys to like really be able to go in and be interactive with each other. How does all that sound? What are you guys thinking? Like, does it sound good? Okay, so while I'm waiting for your comments, ready and keen to dream. Woohoo! So this is how my night went last night. So this, like, I have been starting to prepare for this. Yeah, I think, and Hannah, on the weekends, maybe we make, I don't know, we make a little video or something. So I don't want people, literally with this practice, you can take any day off you want, but as far as like building your dreams, I don't want to just make it Monday through Friday. It's just me showing up for, I want to sleep once in a while in the morning. Hazel, I'm just here to figure out what all you're doing. I don't dream it at all and I get frustrated over it. Well, Hazel, hopefully this will be a remedy. And we're always doing fun stuff in here. Okay, so this is how my night went last night, and this is what we're going to do. Before you go to bed, I want you to, at the very least, have your thoughts, but it's really good to write it down. I use my phone, like my notes app in my phone, to write down my dreams, because usually I'm really too lazy to get out like my iPad and type it out or whatever. So you want to start thinking about, I just want to dream. So you guys who like don't dream, just say over and over, what kind of vibe you want in your dream. I want to dream tonight. It's like putting in your request for a pizza. So even when you're manifesting something in your life, right, it has this idea of, generally, when you go to order a pizza, you're like, I want my cheese and jalapeno pizza. And you know they're going to cook the pizza and give it to you. So when you're ordering up a dream, I want you to kind of feel that feeling of placing your order. So you're placing your order. I want to dream tonight. And don't be too specific if you're not used to dream, if you just want a plain dream about anything to get it started. But state a vibe. I've always been very protective of my dreams because when I was a kid, I had a lot of, like, I don't know if they were nightmares, but they were very scary to me. So I learned that I could prescribe what kind of dreams I wanted to avoid these scary dreams I used to have. So state your vibe. I want to dream tonight. I want to dream about happy things. I want to dream about flying. I want to dream about being in like a beautiful forest, or I want to dream about going to the beach, or, you know, like I want to feel happy in my dreams. So as you're going to sleep, you're going to write this down several times, like 5 times. I know, Hannah, I was thinking like I probably shouldn't be eating cheese, but my favorite pizza would be cheese and jalapeno. Well, and pepperoni, but I wouldn't do that now, but yeah. Well done. So, yeah, so write it down like 5 times so you're really imagining, I'm going to dream and I'm going to be happy and this is going to be beautiful, right? And then when you're going to sleep, say it while you're going to sleep. So, and then if you get up to pee at like 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to say it again when you're going to sleep. So what you're doing basically is training yourself. Good morning, Denise. You're training yourself to be inquisitive. Did I dream? Because on top of actually having the dream, you may wake up and not consciously like look back, did I dream? And forget. So it's more about training yourself to ask the question, did I dream? And that's, I'm going to digress just for a second because this was like a big pivotal moment in my past to help me remember to do something. I was reading a book, and in the book, it was about meditation. The guy in the book said, I trained myself to recognize when I woke up if I was breathing in or breathing out. So I want to hear from you guys. If you were to think about that, how does that make you feel? Like being able to recognize when you're waking up, am I breathing in or am I breathing out? And I remember reading the book, this was 20 years ago. I was like, holy crap, how is that even possible? How could you be so conscious to, right, exactly, Hannah, present. How can you be so present to be able to do that? So I started asking when I was going to sleep. I would ask, I want to know if I'm breathing in or out when I wake up. And after several days, all of a sudden, I was completely aware. I woke up and I was like, I'm breathing in or out or whatever it was. So I was teaching myself to do a certain thing by making the intention. So that's what you want to do with your dreams. So, good morning, Heather. So last night when I went to sleep, I didn't write anything down, but I'm urging you guys who aren't used to doing this to do it. And I should have, I was just tired. So I kept thinking, I want to dream tonight. I want to remember. So you want to say, get your pens and pencils out. And this will all be on the whatever I construct for our interactive like conversations. Do number 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be all written out. But if you want to write it down, when you're going to sleep, write, I want to dream. I want to dream. I want to dream. You can talk about the vibe of how you want to feel in your dream. As we progress, or if you're used to doing this, then you can be more specific. I want to dream about blah, 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 whatever it might be. But don't worry about that right now if you're just trying to turn your dreams and remembering on. The other thing that you want to say before you go to bed, besides the fact I just want to dream, is I want to remember in detail my dream, and I want it to be easily decipherable, because some of you guys know, if you've had this experience, you'll have a wacky dream and you're like, what the heck? It's just all over the place. Heather, when going to sleep, write down, I want to dream, talk about the desire. Thank you, Heather. Keep going. I love that. So it'll be right here. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to remember. I want to have a dream that is easily decipherable. I'll easily be able to interpret it when I wake up. Because it's funny, what I just heard in my head is we can sabotage ourselves as much in our dreams as we can be in our waking life. So you want to make it easy. You want to understand what the hell's going on, right? And as we go along, we're going to go practice our lucid dreaming, but we're not going to do that today. But there are ways, so we can figure out we're dreaming and wake up and play in our dreams. But day one, we're not going to go there. Okay. Heather, could you put number 3, my dreams will be easily interpretable, or my dreams will be easily decipherable. Okay. And so you're going to say all that before you go to bed. And it doesn't take long. You can do it as you're falling asleep. But then if you're serious, and this is for the serious people that, sleep is important, I know. If you wake up to pee when you lay back down, do it again. Yeah, Renee, I was thinking about that. The only thing about make a Post-it. Yes, absolutely. Renee is talking about those of us in the program using Post-its to make an intention. So you can make the Post-it and write it about I want to dream. I want to remember my dreams. I want to remember my dreams and put it on your bathroom mirror where maybe you brush your teeth at night. So you're remembering, or put the Post-it on your bedside light, or on your pillow when you when you go to lay down. The Post-it can be on your pillow, whatever you want to do. But that's great advice, Renee. Okay, so you're doing all this. Remember, if you can, when you wake up to pee. I'm going to go back. I'm going to remember my dreams. I'm going to remember my dreams. So here's the thing. So, Sandra, I love that. I used to do that too. I used to put hearts and stuff with lipstick. Thank you, Heather. So, okay. So this was my night last night. Just to show you how it can go. I went to bed and did all my asking. I woke up at 4 o'clock, having a hot flash, and got up to go to the bathroom, got back in, and started asking again. But I was super uncomfortable, energetically, so I knew that probably wasn't going to work. And then I set my alarm for 7. I woke up. First thing I thought to myself is, because I'm on a mission now, is, did I dream? No. So then I'm like, all right, so this is my practice for today, and this is something I want to offer you guys too. When you're taking something up as a practice, as learning, you want to take it as a real thing, right? And so this is also entwined with sleep. So that's another whole part of it, right? If you're exhausted, you're probably not going to dream very well. And or relaxed. So I knew at 4 o'clock when I woke up, if I was going to have a dream, it wasn't going to be very good. But when I woke up at 7, I'm like, I feel good, but I can choose to set my alarm. So I set my alarm for 45 minutes. And you guys who are mind tripping, this will probably help you too. I set my alarm for 45 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I am going to literally go on a mind trip to go have a dream. So I went into my imagination, started walking down my path with the intention to dream. And I set my alarm because I wanted to get up for you guys. So as soon as I walked down the path, I guess I started dreaming. And my dream was awesome. It's the best dream I've had for a really long time, because it was all about energy. And so I think it was interesting. I've never actually imagined a mind trip going into my dream. But I do know when you're lucid dreaming, you can basically train yourself to fall asleep, and as you're walking into sleep, you're walking into the lucid dream. And that's kind of how this was, although I wasn't lucid. But it was a really great dream. And part of the dream, I'm just going to tell you a couple parts because it was really amazing. I was with my daughter, and I don't know, I told her I had to go to the bathroom or something. We were at the movies, and I was walking down this hall, and I was starting to play with energy. So I could see the energy in my second chakra, but it was in front of my body, and I was holding it with my hands. And just like, I was literally practicing in my dream, because this is something I've been like playing with in real life. So I could see the energy kind of moving and see it like forming a little bit more of a solid mass. And to tell you a secret, I literally had an orgasm while I was doing this, and I wasn't in my, like, I wasn't near my body. I was only around the energy. So for those of you that, like, that's a perk to some of this intentional dreaming. So I had all this energy, and I can't remember what, I guess after that happened, the energy died down. But then the next part of it, I was at this house, and it was my house. Heather, hey, this is sexy and beautiful. Yeah, it's, you know, you're in that second, if you're in your second chakra and you're within that energy, it's pretty easy to access that energy without having to try, right? And so the next part of the dream, I was in a car with my old horse. It was my mother's horse from years. It was my favorite horse from my childhood. And I was cuddling with the horse in the car for some reason. Like, we were just like, because I used to always do that. I would like just lay on my horses. Like, I loved horses. And, but this guy, so this was a cool part. This guy, he was like a postman or something. But the first thing I saw was only his energy. It was like this energy figure. And then as it came into focus, he turned into a person. So that was another, he was a gelding, Heather, unfortunately. But so this guy, he was energy, and then he turned into a form, and he was a postman, and he was delivering mail. So there was more to it, and I don't want to like take up all the time, but because I think I don't know, my intentions and with the mind trip and where my mind's been at and all my intentions I've been making, it was like all coming together in the dream. And I have another whole bit that happened, but I was awake for a mind trip, and I'm going to make a video about that because that was more about energy. So, but I'm going to save that for later. So, Hannah, I visited my home in another dimension last night too. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Heather, I've noticed that I've been walking down my path as I go to sleep at night, and also doing Reiki for others when in bed, because it feels like I'm better able to operate behind the veil. Yeah, yeah. So, all right. So I think it's important that in the morning I felt rested, but I chose to literally practice dreaming, so I went back to sleep. So it's a good thing to, I don't know, set yourself up for wins, right? And use your alarm. It's really important. As we go further in, there's a lot of like checking what time it is before you go to sleep, asking to dream, and then waking up and checking your time, like what time it is again. It's a lot of programming your mind to operate in the dream world. So, but the very first thing we're going to start with is just dreaming on command. So asking, it's just like using your intuition on demand, right? Remembering, how often do, like, this is a lot to do, like in our program, right? You have, I say it all the time, people will write me and say, hey, what about this? Or can you look at this? Or what do you think of this? And usually you guys know, I'm like, go for a mind trip and ask and see if you can get the answer. And it's remembering to do the steps. And So this is a lot to do with dreaming, just remembering to do the steps, because once you shift into the reality of, okay, I'm working with my dreams and I'm going to get answers, and because you can get great answers in your dreams. You can talk to people on the other side. You can travel wherever you want. It's the same as a mind trip. And you can be lucid and be able to do whatever you want in the dream. So it's just another place. So let's take our list. Heather did a really awesome job of doing, write those things down. And I'm going to work on finding, I'll have it in the next couple of hours, finding a platform that we can be interactive. And it may just be here. I want to figure out what the best way is to be able to have like a dream community. So I'll get back to you about that in a little bit when I have an answer about that. Because I want to hear about how it goes. I love to hear the stories and, what happens and how your dreams go. And along with like what I was talking about in my dream, dreams can get very personal. Dreams can get really weird and gross. Like, I've had dreams of like, peeing on the street corner, or going to the bathroom and like pooping in the same stall with a bunch of people, or eating gross things, or I'm going to tell you all my secrets. I've had dreams of like these giant penises, like the size of people. I also had a dream about a micro penis the other night. So like, I want everyone to feel comfortable, and this may be good practices for some of you who tend to be shy or not want to like share stuff. I want you to be comfortable. Whatever happens in your dreams, please feel free to share, no matter how absurd, obscene, or embarrassing it might be, if you're game for it, because it all has meanings. The other thing we should probably talk about, the things that maybe aren't so much fun. If you have nightmares, if you have scary dreams, if you have anything to do with like night paralysis, or have had nightmares in the past, so it makes you afraid to dream now. I'm going to put this out for everyone, because if you guys have, Heather, maybe a pinned thread on this. Yeah, I thought about that. But what I'm worried about is things get lost in those, right? They get so long and bulky. And I also thought about like like our accountability journal app, where you can just have things more like pinned on a wall, but it's not interactive. Hannah, it had a greenhouse with so many plants, edible this time. That's amazing. That's amazing, Hannah. Yeah, so I do want to talk about what do you guys do to wake up from a dream that you're afraid of? So there are, and I'd love to hear if anybody has mechanisms, because this is always something good to put in your toolbox. If you're in a dream and you're in a panic and you want it to be over. For me, if I'm remembering I'm in a dream, I will just insist on waking up. I remember as a kid, or like younger, if I was having like a paralysis kind of dream, or a dream that I was super scared, I would start to kick and like just kind of force my way out of the dream. Sandra, I often have seeking dreams. Sometimes I find it, sometimes I don't. Yes. And the other thing is, when we have dreams that don't feel positive, if we can work on being lucid to be interactive in the dream, then you can start to be inquisitive about what's going on. Because so many times we have a dream that's scary, but it's scary because it's our perspective. It's like our own scary fears, demons coming up, at us to want to be addressed. Same as a bad trip, change the setting. Yes. So that's very good. But you got to be lucid enough to understand I can change the setting. So I think maybe tomorrow I will talk a little bit about lucid dreaming and the things that you can do to kind of control what's going on in there, because Hannah, exactly right. Because you have control. So part of the whole nightmare process is that you feel like you're out of control. It's the same as if you dream and you die, or you dream and someone dies. There's so many positive interpretations of that. I've had a lot of dreams that I'll literally, like, if I'm in the middle of something and I don't like it, I'll just like jump off a cliff. Or I did have one dream that I knew I was going to die. I don't know what happened. I got hit by a car or something. But I didn't care because I knew I was dreaming. But then I was falling, like I died and I was falling and falling. And this is a really creepy dream. Something stole my death. Like something came and grabbed me in my death. I remember waking up being pretty freaked out because I'm like, whoa, that was supposed to be like a protected place. Heather, looking in the mirror will alert you that you're dreaming. And Hannah, if you're tagging people, I don't know if it's working because it's not highlighted. I'm not sure. Heather, I'm glad you're tagging people, but just to say. Heather, also they say, ask yourself all day long, am I dreaming? Yes, that was one of the things I was going to talk about. But I'm going to, I guess I'll talk about it now since you brought it up. When you're training yourself to lucid dream, like Heather said, during the day, you ask yourself, am I dreaming? So you can use your alarm every couple of hours or whatever and just say, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? You can pinch yourself. Am I dreaming? Do I feel that? Am I dreaming? And what that does is that trains you to ask the same question when you're in your dream. Am I dreaming? And then if you are dreaming, you can wake up and you can wake up in your dream and say, okay, I'm dreaming. Now I can go do cool stuff. All right. Anybody have any questions, concerns, anything like that? I think this is going to be so much fun. Heather, I had a wild dream the other night. I was cuddling with 2 cats and I fed my hungry dog some raw chicken. Interesting. All right, cool. I think this is going to be a lot of fun too. So yeah, just give me a couple of hours. I'm going to post like where we're going to go and like where we're going to be able to interact with each other. Stephanie, I've never had a lucid dream. Heather, I'm being sarcastic. Stephanie, it's so much fun. I had this one years ago when I first started playing with dreams. My son, who was younger, he was like maybe 7. We had a dream together, and it was like a very proper example of lucid dreaming. Before I went to bed, I looked at the clock and I stated that I wanted to dream with my son. And then in my dream, I woke up and I went and woke him up. So in my dream, I went to my son's room, I woke him up and said, come on, let's go dream. So he got up, and this was in the dream. He got up, and we spent this whole day. It was all about him. He was doing gymnastics at the time. But he was at the gym, and like we did this whole thing. He won these trophies. It was super important in his life. And eventually I woke up and looked at the clock again. It had only been, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, although the dream went on for a very long time. And I was so tired, I went back to sleep. And to this day, I regret not going to like really wake my son up to say, hey, were you in this dream with me? Lucid dreaming is really cool because you can start to, I had another lucid dream that I was teaching people how to fly. And I realized in the dream what I was doing, so I was able to like continue this training thing I was doing, teaching people how to fly, but I was awake in my dream. Heather, amazing. I've tried to meet Hunter in Minecraft dream. Keep going, do it. I bet you can do it, Heather. Just, make a routine, and it is helpful. Whoever wakes up first in the dream, go wake your person up. And then there is that, okay, was he there? Like, did he remember? I have had there was this guy years ago that we were never together, but we kind of had a physical relationship and a friendship. And but at one point I hadn't talked to him for about 20 years because our vibe never like got together. I was with someone, he was with someone, so we never really got together. And but I always knew what he was doing, and he could feel me. And after 20 years, we had a conversation on the phone. And that night we both dreamt we were in a castle sleeping together. And like the next day we talked about it. And so we dreamt together, and we're aware of it. And I think it was a past life thing. But because we were in a castle, but you can actually dream with people, and they can actually remember as much as you. It just takes practice, or really, like soul tribe kind of, I think, a deep connection. Todd, that is so funny. No, it wasn't Todd. Todd comes up everywhere. It's a thing in my house. Todd's a friend from high school. So yeah, I was, Heather, I was just thinking of the dream I was talking about with that person, and that's not something that would happen with Todd. But yeah, there was this guy from high school, and his wife is part of this group, so I just want to acknowledge I'm talking about Todd. There was this guy that from high school, it was around when the Twin Towers were, I remember making this phone call around when the Twin Towers came down. But for several years, Todd, this guy in high school, was always in my dreams. And it wasn't anything like, it wasn't a sexual thing. It was just, he was always there. We were always hanging out. We were really good friends. We were supporting each other, like checking on each other. Hundreds of dreams. And finally, my husband at the time, I would wake up and I'd say, oh my God, Todd was in my dream again. And finally, my husband at the time was like, you should just call him and find out what the hell's going on. It was driving me crazy. So finally I did. I called, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I keep dreaming about you. I just wanted to connect, and maybe the dreams would stop. And he's a very, very deep Christian, and he was like, this is definitely a sign for me, because there's stuff that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing so much, and I will take you calling me in the dreams as I need to change this in my life. The dream stopped. And then about 6 months ago, they started up again. So I'm like, I'm going to go find Todd again. I haven't talked to Todd for years and years and years. It's been like another 20 years, it's been a long time. And I found him quite easily and texted him. And I found his phone number somewhere and like on the internet. And that was like six months ago or so. And since then, the dream I had about him was he was having a terrible migraine. And apparently in the past, he almost had to have surgery, I guess, because his migraines was so bad. But it's been really funny since then. Him and his wife do a lot of RVing, and they came here, and I went and spent the day with him. We went to the beach, Isis and I, and we have practically texted every day since then. just on the friends level. There's no more than that, but it's like this deep connection for some reason that, and it's not with him. He hasn't dreamt of me or anything. Like there was nothing. But for me, it was like this constant. He was always in my dreams. But since I reconnected with him, I haven't had another dream. So there's a purpose to it. I don't, there's a deeper reason why we need to be connected. And when we do connect, the dreams stop. So, all right. And if anything new happens with that, I'll let you guys know. So I guess this is a good stopping point. Start tonight, or if you take a nap, do the rules, 1, 2, and 3, or 4, or however many they were. In a little while, I'll post exactly how we're gonna all get together to keep our notes and support each other and share. And you guys let me know. Do you think it's a cool idea if someone has a really cool dream to get into the practice when we're doing the lives, to have whoever is comfortable, maybe one person a day, come on and talk about their dream, because we can share the screen and you can talk about it. And that, I think, hearing other people's experiences always helps to understand the possibilities, and also if anybody's struggling, it gives you a little bit of propellant to keep going. So does that sound good? Hannah, I have a reoccurring dream that I can fly, and I'm like, hey, look, I can fly, and no one cares. Everyone was just like, whatever. So I take off and fly over the cities, mountains, and beaches, and I go different places. But it always starts with the same. Interesting. That's really interesting, Hannah, around that feeling that people aren't acknowledging it or caring. That's something to look into, right? Maybe you can let that go, because in your dream, it's not that they're not paying attention to you, it's that you feel they're not, right? So I want to acknowledge you right now, Hannah. I see you flying like crazy, and I think it's fucking awesome. Just in case. And everybody else here, give Hannah acknowledgement, because you are acknowledged. It's just maybe you don't feel it. Stephanie, interesting. I just got your notification of the live. That's weird. It's a little behind the times. Heather, can you make napping an assignment? Yes. I mean, that's basically what I did today, right? I was ready to get up, and I chose to go back to sleep to specifically do my homework. Yes. Napping, homework. Hannah, got my dream journal set up. Awesome. Hannah, is so fucking cool that you fly. Yes, it is. Flying dreams are the bomb. And that's you can put that on your list when you're asking, I want to go to sleep. I want to dream and I want to fly. Happy tales, Hannah. Awesome. All right. This is going to be a blast, you guys. If you have any other thoughts or whatever, for now, let's keep the thread of each, of this live going with whatever happens today until I find the other thing. Or let me ask you guys, do you think we should just keep it? No, it's not. I was going to say keep it within whatever dreams happen within the day the live is, in here. Sandra, I thought that was on purpose. Never mind. I'm going to find something that works for everyone. I try to fly and I just run in slow motion and float a bit. And that's one way I know I'm dreaming. It's like swimming in the air. Yeah. Hannah, Heather, I think that's just going to take practice in the idea of letting yourself be free. All right, so I'm gonna go, and I'm so excited about this, you guys. We're gonna go places. My secret dream is, hopefully, as we're working on this, at least a couple of us will get to be able to meet in the dream world. So if you feel like that's my intention. There are whole lucid dream communities where they meet up. So that's kind of my intention. So if you want to make that intention, if you feel up to that, go ahead and do that. Heather, bye everyone. Love you. And thank you, Christina. You're very welcome. Sonic and Tails, yes. All right, Shauna. Well, we're going to get everyone flying. You're welcome, Hannah. All right, you guys. I love you. Have an awesome day. Happy dreaming. And I'll be back with the next step of how we keep in touch with each other. You guys are so welcome. Thank you.